I am Professor Vinster, and welcome to Jurplastic World.
Now, I know there's not a lot of talking, but shouldn't be doing this on my stool, but I'm going to get a new stool because I want a better stool for when I work later. Anyway, we're working on this guy here. We were going to put him on this rock. I prefer the driftwood. He's got a spot here. I don't know how good my camera's set up on my hat. I got a hat cam on, which is pretty cool. So he's going to go in there like that. So hopefully that, and then this will all stand up. So I got to chisel that all out. So let's put him back over here. My work area is a bit of a mess right now, but whose isn't? There's a lot of guys out there. They got some real tidy. We'll be working on that. I've always been a messy Marvin, kind of, but I've always got the job done. That's the difference. Sometimes you can be real clean and real organized, but then when you want to be real clean and real organized, you don't get anything done. And that could be. So normally I'd be probably drumming this, but because I want it on a taper, I'm doing it like this. And my chisel, it's one of my sharp chisels, but I lost the end of it. I really should put something there to protect from the hammer, but whatever. Well, there's part of the driftwood fell apart. We probably didn't need that part anyway, because what happens is if it falls off, it would fall off later on anyways. So now this actually isn't a piece of driftwood. It's actually a piece of stump I found on the side of the road, which is really cool. This actually is pretty cool inside here. It's going down really. Sorry for the fast movement of the camera if that's what happened there. Hope there's another piece came off. That's see, anything that comes out like that, you don't need it anyway. That looks like it's gonna stay. This part was sitting in the ground for a while, so yeah, this house has to be cleaned out anyway, because there's a pile of grubby stuff, cobwebs, dirt. But I'll take a wire brush to it. Anyway, back to business here. Let's see here. One thing about the camera that I have on, it actually will break up the video in different pieces. So it doesn't actually have one great big long file, which is really cool. I like it like that. There's all that extra pieces coming out that we don't need. You can use them for other parts. It was raining a little while ago. You could hear it on the roof. But I got this unit up there. Whoa, that was a close call. It landed on on something cool. Okay, I think I'm still in action. Wow, that was tough. Okay, let's see here. There we go. I got that unit up there. That was a bad crash. That's because I looked up. Now hopefully I'm set up again. Ouch. That's. So you won't be looking at that again. It's a good thing that camera didn't land on the ground. Supposed to have a tether on it. But I got another one. Let's see what we got going on here. So this sits pretty good. Whoop. Camera touched it. So there you go. This will go in like that. It's got to go in a lot farther. See? A lot farther. But we're getting there. There you go. So this will be the idea of how it's going. So that'll go through. I got to keep chiseling it some more. Okay. Okay, so we got the hole done. As far as we can go probably, because that's where his hand is sticking out a little bit. And we'll have to do a little bit of artwork. Maybe other than that, I think it looks like support. His tummy's gonna rest. So that's it. This big boy, we're gonna clean his eyes up. Okay, now if you hear some noise in the background, that's Mrs. Venster. She's working on a project too, but she's not working for the man today. She's working on some of her project, some garden gnome that got just kicked over by a squirrel, knocked the head off, so she's working on that. So. We're getting him ready for paint. Underbelly. That's the only problem I've seen with it, so everything else looks pretty good. Ready for paint. American alligator. Well, I'm glad we ain't got no Canadian alligators. Well, only the ones that are in our zoos. It's too cold here. Okay. Now we're going to paint the belly of this American alligator. Hey, Mrs. Venster, how's your new shirt? Bring it over. Bring it on over here. Maybe you get beside me. I don't know if we got it in view here or not, but let's see here. Oh, there's our new shirts. So hopefully we're on film there. I'll put that back. Okay, Mrs. Vince. Go back to your garden gnome. Mrs. Vince was working on the garden gnome. Like I said, I don't know if it was in this film or another film. The squirrel knocked it off the porch, knocked his head off. So she's repairing it. You don't see much of his underbelly, but get as much as you can. I don't know how fast you're going to go through paint. Take a peek. Yeah, we're halfway. Halfway and not halfway. And the project. Let's open that up a bit more. It's more close. Maybe before we run out, we'll top it up. That way we don't run out and then have to suck up the bottom. Well, it sucks up the bottom anyway, but a little lumpy, but we got a little bit more pressure, so it should be fine. Don't be afraid to try things. It's the way you get better at what you're doing. You need to let this dry up a bit and then go over it a bit more. This isn't the fun part to paint. This is all soft. It gets fun when you start painting the different colors in. One of the easiest things to paint are, I think, is like a lizard or an alligator. I think you don't really get caught in wrong colors to a point because it can be all different. Be careful when you do that. You don't blow the lid off of it. It does when you do that, when you actually do that, push on that and then give it pressure, it feeds back into the bottle. So it cleans out what you've done. Why is there so much off the bottle? I wonder why I have so much paint on my fingers. That'll end up on my shirt. Got a few shirts, so I'll use one for painting and doing all the dirty work. I'll have a good one for when I go out or something like that. See, it's not hard to airbrush. You just gotta build up the confidence. And like I said, airbrushing's easier. If you brush paint it on, you make a mistake. It's harder to deal with. Airbrushing, you just wait for it to dry. Go with the next color. Fix it up. That's all there is to it. All there is to it. The only difference between airbrushing and what I do is I'm doing it so that you guys can see it. So what happens is I'm trying to film and airbrush at the same time. It's not hard to do, but it just takes more time. If I was just going to go airbrush, it'd be like boom, 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 bang, bang, next line. Don't have to worry about where the camera is, stuff like that. Okay, now I drilled this hole off camera. and I want to put this in here. So we'll put that there. Wait, we got to cut a little bit of the pink, this little pink part off of here, the red part. I don't want it in the print. Even though I'm going to cover that probably with a little bit of moss. Get rid of that. It doesn't want to go away. Come on, go away. Okay, cover the rest of it with moss. Okay, now we'll put some glue in there. Haven't used this glue for a while, so hopefully it's ready to rock and roll. Yep, it's ready. Be generous. Oh, there, I just dripped it down. Just dripped it down there. Now before I want to wipe that off, because this stuff's crazy glue, man. It goes crazy. Just what it sounds like. It's crazy, crazy glue. Alright, give that a shot. Kick her up. Make sure it's going to stay there. See how it's doing. Looks pretty good. Put a little bit more on it without dripping all over the place. There we go. Now before it runs down, there we go. Perfect. And I think there's another hole just about over here that I could figure out this part in. Okay. This with our hot glue. I call it the hot glue. Put enough on it. Put it in here. Like that. There we go. Hit it with the kicker. Hold on to it. There we go. Okay, so we got the Mod Podge. Hopefully you can see that there. Mod Podge. And what we're going to do is take some of this with a brush and put it around where we put the plant. Enough there. Put it on generously. Okay. Down there, and take some of this moss and put it in around the plant. This will make it look a little more realistic. This stuff dries clear, so it won't make a mess or look like a mess. So that there. There. Reach into the bag. Pull some out. Stuff goes everywhere. It's really cool stuff, but you can make a mess. Not a mess to your project you're doing, but a mess to your table. You get that in there where the glue is. Just let it sit. Yeah, it goes all over everything. Alright. So we'll put the lid back on this, and we'll let that set up.
Thanks for watching, and please subscribe.